We'd just like to take a few minutes and talk to you guys about ventilating fire pits. We get the question just about every day, is it necessary? Do I have to ventilate this fire feature? My customer doesn't like the way it looks. The vents are hard to install. I can't find anything I like. Those are all excuses we hear on a daily basis. And to be honest with you, it's very, very important that you ventilate your fire feature. If you don't, you could potentially create a very, very dangerous situation, and we want to avoid that. It's not worth taking on the liability and skipping the venting process. So we're here today to talk to you a little bit about some options you have and ways to do it. Behind us we have the Techo-Block Valencia pit. I wanted to show you this space underneath is what we're worried about ventilating or concerned about. This burner gets all its combustion air from up on top, so we really don't need that oxygen underneath for performance per se, but what we need it for is for safety. If you can imagine this fire pit all installed properly and all these blocks glued together as they should be, we've created a pretty airtight space under here. If for some reason there ever becomes or ever has a gas leak underneath here, we've created an airtight space that's just filling with gas and filling with gas until it eventually comes up through the drainage holes and could potentially connect with the open flame, and then we have a very dangerous situation which we're trying to avoid. Adding ventilation will help or alleviate any of that buildup. So a couple ways of doing it. You could always install your fire feature, drill holes all the way around the perimeter. As a general rule, we're looking for 36 square inches of ventilation per fire pit or fire feature. You always want it cross flow, so that would mean a vent on this side and a vent on the other side. Some folks have cut blocks out, left blocks out, drilled holes around the perimeter. Those are all ways of getting the job done. Some of them look better than others. We also have vents from Warming Trends. These are aluminum, so they won't rust or corrode. They're fairly thick, so they maintain their shape, and you can flex these to a radius. They easily mount to a square. These are another way of ventilating. You can also buy any kind of aftermarket vent that you can find out there. Any of those are options. One thing we're working on here, it's just a prototype. You guys haven't seen it yet. This is a piece of stainless steel. It's got some ventilation cut in the front of it, and this will change in the future. It probably won't look like this, but it's here just to take the place of a block. It simply gets installed where a normal block would be, and then you continue with your installation. It's a real simple, easy, convenient way to get a vent in there without a lot of cutting, without a lot of extra work. Of course, you would want one just like this on the opposite side. It's important to make sure that you're installing these below the plate of the fire feature. So if you're planning this out, remember the plate is 4 to 6 inches down from the top. You want to make sure the vent is at least that or then some on the opposite side. Propane, it's always wise to ventilate a little bit lower because propane's heavier than air. It's going to settle, so you want it to leach out. Natural gas is a little more forgiving. You could install them taller if you like to. So there's a little bit of information on ventilation. If you have further questions, give us a call.